I realized that I haven't finished my holistic medicine on the Homestead series. I started it actually before I really started YouTube channel. I had started the holistic medicine on the Homestead part 1 because I had been using a certain product for our rabbits that had ear infections, and so someone asked for a video and I went ahead and elaborated on that. So now today I want to go ahead and finish that series. So today we're going to talk about essential oils, and we'll get started on that. Okay, so we actually don't use a lot of essential oils on our homestead. As I've gotten further into homesteading and further into all natural remedies, I've discovered that essential oils are kind of my fallback. My real go-to are actual herbal remedies, not essential oils. So using the herb as a whole or using it in its natural form are ways that we try to use them here first. I have found that using herbs versus using essential oils have actually worked better for us. And in the long run, they're better for us on our bodies because our bodies were created to process herbs more easily and better than essential oils. That, you could say that's my opinion, but when you look back in history and you look back and just know the human body, you understand that herbs in their original form are easier on your body than essential oils are. Now, we do use essential oils on our homestead, though not very frequently. And I'm going to take you through a little bit of information, and then I'm going to take you through the oils that we use most often. I don't have a cabinet full of essential oils. The reason for that is because I don't want to become dependent upon them. Obviously, we got into homesteading to be healthier and live a healthier lifestyle, but we also got into homesteading, which some people do and some people don't. This is a complete opinion thing. We also got into homesteading so that we would know how to live in case something ever happened. And we couldn't get to the grocery store, or we couldn't get to a doctor, or we couldn't get to these places that we rely on a regular basis in our country. So when I think of that, essential oils are not something I want to depend on. And so that's why I use them sparingly. One of the reasons why we use them sparingly. The other reason is because essential oils can be very abused. Over history, in the time of history, the course of history, you can see that they weren't used very often. They were used and they were effective, but they weren't used every single day. In our society now, it happened with the whole multi-level marketing craze. Essential oils are used every single day, and that's never what they were created to be used for. I am not judging anybody who uses them every single day, so trolls and haters, don't even try to comment on that. But I'm just giving you information that you can use and apply to your life if you want to. So for that very reason, we don't clean with them, we don't ingest them, we don't, unless instructed to, unless it's absolutely necessary. We use them, when we have aches and pains and nothing else is working, and when we have an ailment that I don't have an herbal remedy for, or I just want something quick, then I'll go to the essential oils. Another thing you need to understand, which I didn't understand at first when I got into essential oils, if you've been using essential oils for months and your symptoms are still coming back and it only temporarily treats them, there's an issue. Get off the essential oil and figure out what the root of that issue is, because essential oils are only masking your symptoms. They are not treating your symptoms, in which case I would switch over to herbal remedies. The next thing is to consider where you're buying your essential oils from. If you are purchasing essential oils online, please do not purchase them on Amazon or anywhere like that. They're normally not, you can get them honest, but normally they're not very honest in what they're selling you. I don't have a particular brand or company that I go with. Now, I will say I do stay away from multi-level marketing companies, not because they're not effective, not because they're not pure, but because I like options. And I want options. If I'm going to buy an essential oil, I want the option of where it came from, how much of it I can buy, and honestly, I don't want to pay out the wazoo for it. And when it comes to multi-level marketing companies, I am paying 20% more for their name rather than just the oil. So I order all of our essential oils either through Mountain Rose Herbs, which is rare. I only buy them if I'm really feeling like I need an organic oil. And the bulk of our essential oils come from Bulk Apothecary, and it's just bulkapothecary.com, and I'll link all this information down below. Their oils are normally through Nature's Oil, and this is what it looks like. I like it because this is not something that multi-level marketing companies are going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. When you buy an essential oil from a multi-level marketing company, they give you the oil that they have on hand. Most of their oils and their plants come from plants that are grown in greenhouses. Where with Bulk Apothecary, they give you an option of where do you want your oil to come from? Where did that oil derive from? Is it the plant in its native country, or is it a plant grown in a greenhouse? Which is still, it's effective, but to go against the grain, in my personal herbal opinion, a plant is more effective and an herb is more effective, and therefore an essential oil is more effective when it can come directly from the plant's native country, from the native soil, from the native environment where it's grown. If you've done anything in gardening, you know that if you save seeds from a plant every year, by the third or fourth year, that plant's going to produce more, it's going to be more vibrant, it's going to be a great plant, 10 times better than what you planted 3 years ago. That is because it is adapted to your area and it's flourishing, absolutely flourishing. When it is in its native area, it flourishes even more and it's more effective and it produces more quality produce for you. It's the same exact concept with an essential oil plant such as tea tree, which is one of the things we use here. So Bulk Apothecary gives me that option. I have, so tea tree oil, for example. This one is AAA Australian. It derived from Australia. And they also give you a Chinese option and some other options. But the most expensive one is normally the most native one. And this particular one came from Australia. Bulk Apothecary gives me the option. I can order in half ounces, 1 ounces, 2 ounces, and even bigger bottles like this. The reason I enjoy doing that is because, number one, I get to choose the country it originates from, which is a very big deal for me. If I'm using something, I want it to be as effective as it possibly can be. The other option is that when I buy big bottles like this, I can cut down a lot of cost because I can actually split this bottle with family members, friends. We have a Crunchy Girls group that's local, and I can split it with them as well. In fact, one of them is my neighbors, and we've done oil trades a lot. And so therefore, I'm not spending near as much money if I were going through a multi-level marketing company. Some people will say, well, what about the blends like Breathe and all those things, which I'm not even really familiar with because I've never really used them. You can make your own blends with these. There's nothing in the book that says you cannot blend your own essential oils to make the same kind of blend that these multi-level marketing companies offer you. In fact, you can go online and read what's in it because they're required to post what is in their blends. Now, the lotions and stuff, that's a different story, which I would be wary of anyhow, because the lotion itself, what are you putting into your skin other than the essential oils? So create your own. You can create your own blends. You can create anything you want to with these essential oils. So that's the rundown of essential oils for us. That's a lot of information that I feel is really important that nobody's putting out there, because A lot of it is, well, I want to make money off my oils, and here's how you should do it. And people have been fed what information to give people without actually doing their own research. I've researched essential oils for a few years now because, for those of you who actually know me personally, you know I'm very anal about information being correct, and I am very cautious of what I put on my family and what I give them. Okay, so next, what essential oils do we use on our homestead? I only use a few. I'm only going to go through a few of them. I'm not going to show you every single bottle because every single bottle looks like this. First, carrier oil. Carrier oils are oils. Look, I sound like a redneck. Carrier oils are extremely important. I dilute every single oil that we use. I typically use jojoba oil. I don't even think I'm saying that right, but that's what we use. It doesn't solidify like coconut oil. It's a very great mild oil. It doesn't really smell or anything. So I buy big bottles of those. And then I actually bought bottles like these to make my own blends. And so I'll just pour equal part carrier oil and then the other oils in. And just give it a shake, and when you're ready to use it, you can use it. So that's my carrier oil of choice. The next oil that we use is tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is really important on our homestead because I don't like using harsh things like alcohol and peroxide and stuff like that. If I can get a more natural antiseptic, which tea tree oil is, then that's what I'll use. And so for tea tree oil, we always use it to clean wounds out. It helps boost the immune system. It's been proven to be great. Like if you're getting ready to go into surgery or have a surgery done, it's been proven that if you put it on your body before, your body adjusts to the shock very well after your surgery. There are so many uses for tea tree oil. Like I said, it's antiseptic. It treats and fights off bacteria, fungi, and viral stuff. So you're getting 3 great things in tea tree oil. But I actually never use tea tree oil by itself. Not because I don't want to, but because I have my own blend. So my go-to blend is jojoba, tea tree, and oregano. Now, you're going to smell like a lasagna for the next few hours if you have it on, but we use this a lot for our animals. Tea tree, oregano, and the carrier oil, all 3 together. The tea tree cleans and helps boost immunity, and it also helps get rid of bacteria and fungi and viral stuff. And then the oregano comes in, and oregano oil is like a natural antibiotic. And so if anything has gotten in there, even after cleaning it out, that oregano oil is going to treat that naturally as a natural antibiotic. I use this blend a lot if our rabbits get ear infections. I have one rabbit in particular who gets ear infections all the time. I guess it's genetic. I've never really been able to figure it out. But it heals him. It's also great for ear mites in your rabbits as well. So the next oil that we use on our homestead is peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is really good for pains. I use peppermint oil. I have a knee issue, or had a knee issue. I don't really have it anymore. Where I have pain in my knee. My kneecap kept slipping out of place ever since I was a teenager. And so I would, instead of taking Tylenol nonstop, I would put essential oil, peppermint essential oil on my knee, and it would take that pain away. It's a prime example of getting to the root of the issue, though. I used the peppermint oil to get through the symptoms of the pain, but then I used exercise to actually heal that kneecap. And what I had to do is build up the muscle around the kneecap to keep it in place. So peppermint is good. You can put on the chest in the wintertime or even in the summertime for colds and flu, and to open up your nose and your chest, and we use it a lot for that. Be sure to wipe it off of your chest or off of your body if it's cold and you go back outside, because that cold air can get into the pores that are opened up through the peppermint oil. Another oil that we use, but not very often because I just don't like the smell of it. We have used lavender oil several times before. But I cannot get past the smell of it. I've tried so many different oils and types of brand, and I just don't like it. it has a calming effect. So if you're not being able to sleep well at night, or if your kids are really hyper or something, you can use it for that. But those are, again, all issues that I wouldn't necessarily treat with lavender oil. I would get to the root of those issues. Why aren't you sleeping? Why are your kids acting wild and crazy? Could it be that they're just kids? They're just bored? Those are things that you need to think about too. Lavender oil is also very much like tea tree oil. It can be a great cleaner to clean out wounds and treat wounds and stuff like that. Another oil that we use is frankincense. Now, frankincense is kind of the oil of all oils to me. A lot of people recognize the name of it because of it being in the Bible. And so frankincense is actually used for a lot of different things. It can be used for psoriasis and eczema, boils, so many different things. I encourage you to look it up. I don't use it often because it is a very strong oil. In fact, I've only used it probably twice since I bought it. And I've bought it to put on my husband because he gets boils sometimes. If we catch them in the beginning, we can put it on the boil, and it actually lessens the time that it takes for the boil to go away. These are really the only essential oils that we use on our homestead. Yes, I do use them on our animals, not very often. If you use them, you need to dilute them a lot. You can put oregano oil and things like that in your chickens' feed, like if your chickens are getting sick, but I would suggest going for the actual herb first and crushing it up and putting it in their feed and in their water. I am not a huge advocate for essential oils. Like I said, we don't rely on them, and we rely a lot more on herbal remedies. Now, I know plenty of people who have sworn by essential oils to heal their bodies, but not a single one of those people have actually gone off of the essential oil to actually see if it has healed their body. And so that's my only encouragement to you, is make sure when you're using essential oils that you're not actually masking the symptoms. Make sure it's treated the symptoms. If you're on essential oils your whole life, you don't know if the actual issue has gone away until you go off of essential oils. If it comes back, then you've never been cured of it. You've just been masking your symptoms. So I encourage you, use them wisely, use them safely, use them sparingly if you can. Again, that's totally your opinion and totally your option. There's no right or wrong way. We all, it's all what works for us. But understand that, if you're not getting to the root of the issue, you're just going to constantly be using the oils, and the issue's never going to go away. I'm going to do the next video. It's going to be on herbal remedies. This is a herbal remedy, but more herb-based. And as you saw in my bookshelf video, I've been reading the Herbal Medicine Maker's Handbook. This is an incredible book. I'm almost done with it, as you can see. I encourage every single person who is looking to get into herbal remedies to purchase this book. I purchased this off of Amazon used books, and it's like brand new. It was only like $12. Read it cover to cover. This is like a herbal remedy course in a book, basically, is what it is. Great read. So I'm going to touch more on this next time in the third part of this series. If you have any questions, please be kind and ask them.